Hello guys, now we are on the second game of Sokolov's best strategical games, and in this game Sokolov is white and Durik is black. It is played in San Bernardino in 1988. It's a King's Indian opening, and let's see the game. d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, bishop e2, castle shot, knight f3, e5, bishop to e3, queen e7. Amongst the other main lines are e takes d4 by black, or knight g4, or h6. Now d takes e5, d takes e5, knight d5, knight takes d5. Here, instead of knight takes d5, after the game of Karpov and Kasparov in New York World Championship third third match in 1990, the line queen to d8, queen to d8, and bishop to c5, bishop to c5, and knight takes e4. Now bishop to e7, and queen to d7, bishop takes f8 became popular, with black normally gaining some compensation for the exchange. Now even bishop can immediately take the rook. So now, but in the game after knight d5, there was knight takes d5 and c takes d5, c6, and the alternative queen b4 check and knight to d2 does not promise equality either. So after c6 and d6, now the white player is Sokolov, guys. Queen e6, now h4, and here knight to g5 has been tried on several occasions, and after queen to f6, now bishop to c4, and h6, now h4, queen to h4, and now queen to d8, and h5. White has a winning attack here. However, since f6 is obviously not the most fortunate square for the black queen, in the 12th move, the queen e8 appears to be the better retreat. Here, the queen comes to f6 after knight g5, but it is better to put the queen on e8, and after queen to d2 and knight d7 with knight f6 or h6 to follow. Here things are far from clear. Now after h4 by white, and Here h4 was a novelty in the 90s. It aims to provoke black into playing h6. Otherwise, white will continue his h pawn advance. Here h6 is correct. Instead, if rook to d8 fails to knight g5, now queen takes d6. Now and then queen takes d6, rook takes d6, and bishop to c4, rook to d7, and now rook to h3 gives white a decisive advantage. Here even h5 and or rook to d1 also gives white a clear edge, and after rook d7, if instead of rook d7 bishop to e6 is played, then knight takes e6, f takes e6, bishop to c5, and c5, and bishop, if at all rook to f6 is played, then long castles, then knight to d7, f4, ef4, and bishop to d4, and rook to d6, and I'm sorry, rook to d6 here, not e6, d6. If rook to d6 is played, then bishop takes f7, then king to f8, and bishop takes g7. There is a discovered attack on the rook. So I just wanted you to show the various variations that come, and here after h4. So if I just showed you all this variation because if h6 is not played, and if black plays any other moves like rook d8, that would fail to the all the variation that I showed, because the knight must not come to g5. Now queen to d2, rook d8, now rook d1, bishop to f8. If at all king to h7, then h5, g5, then bishop takes g5 is coming. After this, there is fork for the queen and king. So king takes h7 is not good. Now after bishop f8, bishop takes h6, rook takes d6, queen c1, rook takes d1 check, bishop takes d1, knight d7, bishop b3, queen e7, h5, knight c5, bishop takes f8, queen takes f8. Here Here instead of even knight d3, then king f1. So nothing big is going to happen. So after queen takes f8, then queen g5, knight takes b3, a takes b3, queen b4 check, king f1, then bishop to e6. If queen takes e4, then queen d8 check, then king to g7, then h6 check, and king h7. So knight g5 is coming. Knight g5 mate is coming. If at all king to h7, then this discovered check is coming. If then this is coming. If so, this is coming. So queen takes e4 is a blunder here. So bishop e6, and now h takes g6, queen takes e4, g takes f7, and white wins here. Thank you all guys. I hope you would have enjoyed the game. And Ivan Sokolov is one of the best strategists. I wanted to show you all his masterpieces. There are many more masterpieces there are nearly 50 games, 50 classic masterpieces by Ivan Sokolov. I'll be showing you all of them. Thank you all.